the YWCA. She is a very busy woman. She is a certified medical assistant, a CMA, and she's going to tell you today about her organization that takes a lot of her time. She truly did win this crown in a beauty pageant, and they also do fashion shows, and they do all sorts of stuff, and it's all about fundraising and bringing attention to the very serious subject of mental illness and suicide and so on. So, Nalley Garcia-Nava.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nalley Garcia, and I want to start with a little bit about me. I stand in front of you as a woman who survived 5 suicide attempts. A woman who, despite all statistics, overcame the ridicule and negative remarks about being a teenage mother. A woman who once, as a little girl, was mimicked and tortured because of the color of her skin. This woman is taking the pledge to live out loud and courageously take a stand against bullying and racism. I, along Live Out Loud charities, promote self-love and suicide prevention. Recognize your worth. Know that you're phenomenal. And boldly live out loud. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. Do we know that? These are issues that hardly anyone is talking about. These are issues that can be prevented. And what are we doing? We start by being educated on the subject, and that is on mental health awareness, mental health illness. I will start out by, I want to share with you, about 70 million children across the world don't get to go to school. Is that fair for people, for us, to send our kids and deal with bullying when we have such high rate? It is not. 6 is finding a cause you believe in. 7 is affirmations. Having affirmations such as, yes, I am strong. Yes, I can overcome that obstacle. Yes, I will do it. And I will surpass my challenges. And we offer too a mirror exercise. This is by far one of the hardest exercises, and I have even tried with myself and my daughter, where I look at myself in the mirror and just go through my affirmations. Yes, I can do this speech. Yes, I'm good enough to stand in a crowd and talk about my weaknesses. Yes, I am able to talk about these issues that are surrounding my community, the world. Gerhardt, she's a wonderful, wonderful woman. She is one of my mentors. She lost her childhood friend to suicide. This is the reason why she created Live Out Loud charity. So this is a nonprofit organization based out of Chicago. Here she is featured on NBC5 on the 8th annual, promoting the 8th annual fashion show. And this is a woman who did not have anything. She started this nonprofit organization that is now worldwide while she was homeless. She stood up against all her challenges and did what she thought was right, and it is right. No one should have to go through bullying. No one should have to go through depression and not having anyone there to know what it's like. No one should be able to commit suicide when it's so preventable. Sherry, I gotta say, I gotta give her a lot of credit. So suicide prevention. According to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, on average, 1 person dies by suicide every 9 hours in the state. This is for Indiana. Suicide is the 11th leading cause overall in Indiana. In Indiana's, suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 15 to 34. What does that tell us? More teenagers and young adults die from suicide than from chronic conditions such as heart disease, AIDS, birth defects, stroke, pneumonia, influenza, and chronic lung disease combined. This is a serious issue we need to tackle. It is the third leading cause of death for ages 10 to 14. It is the fourth leading cause of death for ages 35 to 54. And more than twice as many people die by suicide in Indiana annually than by homicide. The total deaths to suicide reflect a total of 20,353 years of potential life lost before the age of 65. We are losing our children. We are losing potential leaders that can change our world, that can change our communities, that can change our state. It is highly unacceptable. I want to talk about a little bit of the signs of depression, but before I do, I want to focus on men. I figure I switch things just a little bit just to give you guys another side of things.
Point to the computer.
Point to the computer. I'll bet you.
Find David.
There's always a plan. The signs of depression. Thank you, Tracy, so much. According to Julie Serra, president of the American Association of Suicidology, it states that men notoriously do not seek help. And as people are aging, and at the place in their lives where the world isn't looking the way they want, men especially do not know how to reach out and get help or express that they are feeling pain. Sarah said that most men hesitate to see doctors, and usually only do so if they're pushed by partners and family members. But even once they are in front of a physician, those medical professionals aren't always trained to look for an imbalance in mental and emotional health. And I can tell you right now, as a healthcare professional, as a certified medical assistant that worked for IU, which is one of the top corporations that we have in Indiana, it is true. I will share a little story. One time I was bringing patients, and in the middle of it, a coworker needed my help. My doctor was hysterical. She did not know what to do because she found out that my coworker was suicidal. She did not know how to calm her down. Luckily, I was there and I was free. And I was able to calm her down. I was able to question her. I was able to persuade her. And I was able to refer her to seek help. The doctor came into the room and she was shocked to see this woman that was hysterical, calmed, and asking for help and saying, yes, I will get help. I need help now. There is no reason to not be prepared when situations such as this come in. In a clinic, I was the only one that was QPR certified, and within 5 days, I had to save and intervene another life. After 2 weeks, when the person came from rehab, she said, Nellie, if you weren't there, there will be a body the next day. I had a plan. But luckily you were there to listen, to know what to do, and guide me in this situation. She's now fine, thriving with her families. Both of them are, and I'm glad. So I'm going to jump into 2 causes of suicide. It is depression and substance abuse, according to the QPR Institute. In adults, in young adults and adolescents, some of the signs are confusion thinking, prolonged depression, sadness, irritability. We all know what it's like to be stressed. When what is out of the normal, then there's a red flag. What is going on? We have feelings of extreme highs and lows. We have excessive fears, worries, and anxieties. Social withdrawal. When we know they're social, and then all of a sudden, they just stop coming to gatherings. What's going on? Dramatic changes in eating or sleeping habits. Are they sleeping well, or are they not? Strong feelings of anger. Strange thoughts and delusions. Oftentimes we say, oh, you're crazy. And we don't take the time to really think and understand what is going on inside the person's head. We need to, especially for our youth. What is troubling them? Getting down and just sit down and understanding. There are some of the other symptoms include seeing or hearing things that aren't there, hallucinations. Growing inability to cope with daily problems and activities. Are they showering? Are they eating right? Are their habits? What's going on again? Suicidal thoughts. When someone says, I want to kill myself, I'd rather be dead, please be assured that they are really thinking that, and it's nothing that we can just let go. We need to intervene and do something. Numerous unexplained physical alignments. Why are they sleeping well? Why are they dragging? What's going on? Again, asking those questions. Giving personal items away out of the blue. Why are they giving out their precious items away? Why is that significance? Do they want to be remembered? And of course, we got substance abuse. Our top, one of the main reasons why causes go. So what do we do? So what do you do? And here it is. QPR Institute, a 3-step to save a life. You question the person. You persuade them there is hope and to get help. It's very important to sit down and listen first, ask those questions, and then persuade them to get help. And then the next thing you do is you refer them. There are also some resources to get help. 1-800-273-TALK. It is free, confidential, 24/7 with professional help. If you don't know what to do, you can call this number and they are able to guide you. There is also powertochange.org for an email mentor. So one of the reasons, our core character, we need a mentor. We need someone to be there for us. This is a way. And of course, www.liveoutloudterry.org and click help. Now before I close the statement, I want to show very important people in my life. These are 2 out of my 3 kids. I got Jaden and I got Miranda. These children mean the world to me. I'm going to start with Miranda. She is my 13-year-old. And she has prevented 5 suicides between the ages of 11 and 13. 5 suicides. Why? Because she knew QPR. She knew how to question the person. She knew how to persuade them to seek help. And she knew how to refer them. She was able to apply these 3 steps and save 5 classmates. Miranda and I'm open to talk about it with her permission as well. She was sexually molested. And now she stands tall as Miss Worldwide Teen Midwest for the Live Out Loud charity to bring awareness on anti-bullying, suicide prevention, core character development. In the past 3-4 months, we even met Vivica Fox. She has been part of an international fashion show that was held in Chicago. And she has done so many other volunteer. She's been volunteering along with myself. And this year we're going to launch Live Out Loud charity in Mexico in my native language, which is Spanish. This is a 13-year-old that's an advocate. This is a 13-year-old that saw someone cutting themselves and asked a question when no one else was. This is the girl who saw me cry in my bedroom that knew I would not get out because I was depressed. She saw it all. She was there from thick to thin. And to have her stand up tall the way she is, despite everything, makes me such a proud mom. On the other side, I have little Jaden. Here he is when he's 10 years old. We talk about our statistics. At 10 years old, Jaden was bullied. He began hurting himself. Then he began stating he wanted to kill himself. This would have been the last shoes he would have wore if I did not know about Live Out Loud charity. This would have been the last shoes I would have seen my 10-year-old that's now 11, or if it wasn't for QPR. Right now he's 11. And he's also learning how to advocate on behalf of Live Out Loud charity, how to prevent bullying, and how to prevent suicide. He knows how to question. He knows how to persuade. And he knows how to refer. And on the 5th suicide that both of these kids prevented, he assisted Miranda. He questioned the girl. He persuaded her to talk to his sister. Then he made the referral to talk to her. He did all this. So this is an 11-year-old who was traumatized to even go to the school bus, who hurt himself and still has the scars from it. Now he's talking about it. Both of them have become advocates for Live Out Loud charity because I have trained them. I took the time to become QPR certified and teach my children it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to seek help. And it's okay not to be a bystander. If you see bullying, report it. Because no one should have to go through it. Because there's 70 million children that aren't able to go to school, and you guys have a right and don't even want to go because someone else is bullying you. That's not fair. So I really thank you for this wonderful opportunity, Tracy. And I hope and I will be working really, really hard throughout Indiana to bring more awareness on anti-bullying, suicide prevention, and core character development through Live Out Loud charity. Thank you again. Yes. If anyone has questions, yes.
Where do we go? Do you have a place?
Yes.
Headquarters?
The headquarters
Do you
are...
have your own building?
We are actually a very small yet big worldwide organization. Like I said, Sherry started this in Chicago, and now we are on Ireland. We are on Canada. There's ambassadors that we're going to launch in Mexico. So you can go to Live Out Loud Charity, www.liveoutloudcharity.org, and find more information there. So the headquarters, I would say, would be Chicago. That's the birthplace, and that's where we hold our big international fashion shows. And I forgot to say, though, In this fashion shows, there's a stigma of the models. Oh my gosh, they're so shallow. About 90 to 95% of the models have suffered through one of those three things. Sherry takes a team of very talented people to train these people and walk professionally, and that's part of our charity. That's part of the program. We build up their self-esteem and say, yes, you can walk. And just an idea that I'm going to share of how big the stage is. It's about, and this is what she said, the minimum stage that we require is 8 foot by 40. And I'm like, why so big? Because I want them to know that they can do anything and that they did it. I want them to walk to the end and take those pictures and feel great about themselves because they deserve it. It's not how big it is. It's to build that self-esteem, to put all the hard work, all those rehearsals, all the talented people together, all that stuff that they learned, and put them on stage and say, yes, you could. And now you're not just walking on designer clothes. And we have designers from Paris, from India, from all over the world. We have celebrity photographers from New York. It's incredible. But unlike any other fashion shows, this kind of fashion shows are the ones that you walk in and you feel like you're home. Because the people there, we treat them like our family. We are a family. We're a big, big family. So, I mean, we are everywhere.
I have a question. How much do you talk about social media and how that plays into, bullying and some of the issues the kids are having? How much is social? Do you address the issue of social media much?
Absolutely. If you go to Live Out Loud Charity on Facebook, there's actually a video of Sherry explaining how she prevented a suicide at her home. She saw a post on Facebook, and she knew she did not give up. She did not let distance stop her from preventing a suicide. So there's actual steps to do that as well. And you can go watch that Facebook. I invite all of you to go to Facebook, Live Out Loud Charity, and watch her present this wonderful presentation of QPR through social media. Because this is what is happening nowadays. A lot of people are posting depressive feelings and then we just don't hear about it. Next thing you know, they're ending up in the hospital or we just don't know. And how can we take it serious? Well, she did. And she prevented a suicide. She was able to interfere by getting a hold of the people through the Facebook profile.